Okay, welcome back. We've got your sources right here. And wow, quite a collection, all zeroing in on AI, artificial intelligence.
Yeah, a really fascinating set. And we're not just scratching the surface today, are we? The goal, like always, is to really dig into these specific sources you sent over.
Exactly. Pull out the core insights, the key takeaways, maybe some surprises from this material.
We want to get past the buzzwords and look at what these sources say about AI's actual power, its uses, and, well, the challenges too.
Right, because it's touching pretty much everything. Your sources mention medicine, science, even creative arts. It's transformative.
And one thing your sources do well, I think, is differentiate. They make it clear we're mostly dealing with narrow AI right now.
Yeah, the specialized stuff, like the AI that recommends your next song or figures out the best delivery route. We use it constantly.
Exactly. That's distinct from the bigger idea, the theoretical goal of artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Human-level smarts across different tasks, not just one specific thing.
And that's still different from the even more out there concept of artificial superintelligence, or ASI, way beyond human capabilities.
Right, speculative stuff. But the sources really bring it back to what's happening now, the applications of the AI we actually have.
Absolutely. Like in computer vision, one paper you shared wasn't just talking about facial recognition, but using it to help diagnose medical scans pretty accurately, too.
And another source mentioned its role in things like advanced drones, those autonomous systems.
Yeah, crucial there. And then there's language processing. That's moving so fast.
It really is. More than just translation, right? The sources talked about drafting legal documents, even generating marketing copy.
Wild, isn't it? And your material gets specific about performance, like Gemini 1.5.
Oh yeah, that massive context window capability. Processing whole books or like huge chunks of code at once.
That's a huge leap for analysis, right? And then you have specialized things like one source highlighted AlphaFold.
In protein science. Predicting those complex 3D structures super quickly, that's accelerating research like crazy.
Big time, especially for drug discovery. And of course, GPT-4 and Claude 3 get mentioned for their flexible text and analysis skills.
Okay, so the power is undeniable, huge potential. But the sources were just as clear about the downsides, the risks.
They really were. The whole issue of systemic bias came up quite a bit.
Yeah, how biases in the training data just get amplified, leading to unfair results in like loan applications or even those courtroom risk tools one source detailed.
Exactly. That example was pretty stark. And then there's the potential for misuse. That's significant.
Things like deepfakes getting scarily good, or AI being used for more sophisticated cyber attacks.
Makes defense really tough. And one source definitely raised the alarm about, well, autonomous weapons, the whole debate around keeping humans in control.
Which kind of leads to what one source called the core challenge, right? The alignment problem.
Yeah, that's the big one. How do we make sure that as AI gets more advanced, its goals actually line up with our human interests and values? It's tricky.
Very. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. The sources did point towards, well, solutions, or at least approaches.
Right, that crucial summary bit you flagged. It really emphasized responsible development, like actively working to fix things like bias, not just noting them.
And thinking hard about governance and laws. How do we regulate this stuff, especially in sensitive areas?
Can't just let it be a free-for-all.
Totally not. And the third point was boosting public understanding, making sure people actually get what AI is and isn't.
Yeah, increasing that tech literacy across the board seems vital so we can all have sensible conversations about it.
So wrapping up, the picture your sources paint is complex. Amazing potential, absolutely, but paired with some really significant risks we need to manage carefully.
That dual nature comes through really strongly.
It does. And thinking about that fundamental alignment problem they discussed, getting AI goals right, it leaves you wondering, doesn't it? How do you think we can best strike that balance between pushing innovation, getting all the benefits, but also ensuring safety and security for everyone?
That's the core question, isn't it? Definitely something to chew on.
Indeed. Food for thought until our next deep dive.